back to our final week of 90s schlock. And we're going out with a bang because I made a grievous error last week when I said that Minefield was kind of the bread and butter of this whole theme month. Because clearly it is this film today. We're talking about Omega Doom from 1996. This movie has all the kings and the best parts of what you expect from 90s schlock. Let's run down this list, shall we? We've got directed by Albert Pune, the guy who is a master of low budget 90s trash. You have Rutger Hauer. You have a movie that involves robots shot in an abandoned factory. This is just this is the 3-tiered cake of 90s junk food. On top of that, this is a blatant ripoff because homage sounds way too nice. This is a cheap ripoff. It's Yojimbo. It's for a fistful of dollars. This is just that movie, only we were cyborgs. And you have Rutger Hauer leading the way, who plays the cyborg who, at the very beginning of the movie, gets shot in the back of the neck, which strategically turns off his robot inhibitor so he can think for himself. And then again, we're just running around this abandoned concrete factory, they just make concrete and sparks and rebar. And there's a robot faction and a human faction. He's putting them against each other. It's the plot to Yojimbo. But they were robots. This is a lot of fun though. Again, it's a simple story you've seen 1,000 times. In fact, Nick and I on our November live when we talked about neo-westerns, we talked about another movie that is basically a ripoff of Yojimbo with Last Man Standing. Turns out, pretty influential film. That being Yojimbo, not Omega Doom or Last Man Standing. There are some things that kind of deter from this movie. The first and foremost being this is basically a PG-13 cyborg. Speaking of Albert Pune, much better Albert Pune movie. But again, because this is a rare PG-13 Albert Pune, not a lot goes on. You kind of don't get those like things you want from the type of movie this is. Something like you think something like Crash and Burn or American Cyborg or stuff like that. It does have fun physical effects, a lot of bad CGI, and then for whatever reason, to really amp up that they're robots, we have like cranked. They all have the RoboCop noise, the walking RoboCop noise, and the turning noises, but it's cranked. At least in the version I watched, cranked way too high. It's so loud. Almost to where you imagine if you're like turning your head during dialogue, you're gonna be missing key things. But again, because it's Albert Pune, because it's Rutger Hauer, because it's everything you want in a goofy movie like this to me was the most fun of this month. Again, I liked All American Murder. It was a fun mystery. But man, when I think of like a 90s kind of dumb trash film, I think, movies that I love from this genre, like Rising Storm or again, Crash and Burn, movies like that. This is what I love about it. These kind of like cheapo, we're just shooting a movie in a quarry type situation, and I love that. And Albert Pune was the best. Sadly missed. So is Rutger Hauer, man. He was a legend, and he was great. In these movies, in a good movie and a bad movie, the point is you were gonna get Rutger Hauer at his best, and he is super fun in this. So this is the one I recommend the most. Um, if you can find it, do so because you get to watch Rutger Hauer be a robot again, and not a movie that's not quite living up to the hype of the last movie where he was a robot, but it's a fun kind of bad fun action movie. So I say check it out. And with that, we're going to wrap up our 90s schlock. Uh, Next month, and we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're just seeing stuff that comes out in the theater. Both Nick and I will be doing theater reviews, things like that. Uh, and then the end of February, Nick and I are doing our best and worst of 2025. We like to give it an extra month because once everybody's given their opinion, then he and I give you the facts of what the best and worst movies of the last year were. Plus, it gives us time to catch up because we both work full time jobs and we're watching trash like this all month. So make sure that you are back for all that. Uh, Make sure we like, subscribe, do all the things that the great overlord YouTube asks you to do, and share us around. Our goal this year is to get to 100 subscribers. We're at 61. We're passing, just barely passing. So make sure we can help get us up to where we want to be. And thank you guys so much for hanging around. And until next week with a brand new movie review, I'll see you guys then. Bye.